Hi, I'm Lee Brecheen, Louisiana Football TV magazine. We got a great lineup as always. Coach Robert Casy all the way from Leesville High School, which, you know, they're covered in that Lake Charles or Cenla area, either way, in Alexandria or Lake Charles. They did a great job, Coach did, with their team, had one of their best years ever. Matthew Anderson's going to be here, one of his top recruits, who's a senior offensive lineman signed with Nebraska, and also John Emery Jr. and Sr. from Destrehan High School. And we've got our Recruits of the Week. Don't change that channel. We'll be right back.
When you come to Relief Windows, your experience starts here.
Or here.
Then we come to your home.
We measure twice.
And then we bring custom windows to your home.
We remove your old windows. Install your new windows.
Clean our mess.
And we make sure you're completely satisfied.
And all of this before you pay a dime. And at Relief Windows, our #1 product is customer satisfaction.
Relief Windows.
Honey, what's wrong with the disposer?
What disposer?
Clogged drain? Call Roto-Rooter, America's neighborhood drain expert.
Louisiana Office Solutions Company is the complete answer for all your office products and janitorial supply needs. From supplies for school or your home office, to styrofoam cups for your restaurant, to pallets of paper and cleaning supplies for your business. Choose from a large selection of furniture from chairs to desks for office or home, traditional and contemporary styles, or work with our design team to create a complete furniture layout for your building. So call or come by Louisiana Office Solutions Company on Florida at Lobdell, where everyone is welcome.
Delta World Tire is 100% committed to making every part of your experience with us hassle-free and pleasant. Whether it's tires, brakes, oil change, or scheduled maintenance, Delta World Tire's highest priority is serving you. If you're traveling this season, Delta World Tire is here to help you make sure your vehicle is road ready. If the tire needs replacing, the oil needs changing, or any other scheduled maintenance, Delta World Tire wants to make sure you get there.
We're Delta World Tire.
Welcome back. Even though the season is over, these high schools are still important to parents and coaches. All the coaches, by the way, we mailed a copy. If they're in North Louisiana, to the right, to the left, South Louisiana. Some of them got North and South because we mailed them out wrong. So you got 2 of them if we did that. You got a lanyard copy, but we came up with the North Louisiana copy on the right. Left, we started the first one in '96, was our first year to come out, '96, '97. And just happy we're working on the next one, which will be 23 years in 19 coming up. If you can't find the magazine, go to our website. If you're in a small town and we're not in any local grocery stores or we're just not in an area, go to our website and order a magazine. Our next guest, very honored that he could come down all the way from Leesville, Louisiana. The Wampus Cats, known for many great players. Kevin Mawai, currently with Arizona State, I think he's going to get in Canton, Ohio this year for Hall of Fame, hopefully. Played for the Jets, played for LSU, played a long time in the NFL. Ray Smoot was a Parade All-American offensive lineman. Eddie Fuller, Buffalo Bills, 3 Super Bowls, LSU. Kavita Pittman was an All-American and 1 AA and played for the Dallas Cowboys. Erwin Brown was an all-Southland Conference running back at McNeese. I can go on and on. Cecil Collins was a phenomenal running back at LSU. We've got he's got some players signing this year. One will be on tonight, Matthew Anderson. But without waiting any longer, Coach Robert Casy, thank you.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here with y'all today, and we appreciate all that you do for the state of Louisiana, the football here. There's a lot of good programs in the state, and just to be honored to be here representing Leesville High School and the Leesville community.
Your 3rd season was magical at Leesville. 10-0, undefeated during the season. One of the best seasons in the program's history, rich program. In 2010, 9-3 seems like years ago, right? It's what, 8 years ago, but the 10-0 was phenomenal. In year 2, 10-2, which was a phenomenal year for you. Year 1, 7-5, not bad. Go to the playoffs and lose to, which is like a pro football team, Edna Carr.
Right.
And just, you got some good players coming back. I know that you lose a lot of good players, which is a good thing. You got a lot of kids that are signing college scholarships early and some late. Watched your team on film, Coach. Very impressed with your run game and your blocking and your development of your offense. And your defense played phenomenally, way over their head.
Right.
Not having those big guys.
Right.
Take the people through this year. What was it? What made it so magical? That 10-0 season, that's hard to do in high school
Well, it
football.
takes a lot of, there's a lot of people involved in a successful season and a successful program. Starts with a community that has high expectations, going to support you in the central office, with administration there, with our school board, and having an administration at Leesville High School that, you know, just backs you and any ideas you have, that brings the community together, you know, is really supportive, administrative, and I have a great coaching staff. You know, those guys buy into the culture we have, and it bleeds into our kids, and the kids bought into it. And I really felt like this year is that we did not lead as much from the coaching staff. The kids led.
Yeah.
They held each other to the highest standard. They were servant leaders. They bought in the 4 pillars that our program is built on, and they took charge of it. And so as the year went along and dealing with the adversity and the injuries that we had, we lost 28 kids to various time periods in the season, playing time, and the mantra of next man up just took over it. And the kids just really expanded upon what we wanted to build, and it just blossomed from that point. And then the community kept getting more involved and doing different things, and it just took off like a small snowball going down a hill, and it just got bigger than what I ever thought it would be as the year went along, and we kept having success. It was just a wonderful experience. I felt blessed and honored, you know, to be in the position that we're in. God bless us with this opportunity to invest in the young men in the Leesville community, and you know, the credit goes to him and the support staff that we have.
And Coach, like I said, this is not overnight. I mean, you've been 12-year veteran of the staff, and this is not something you put in one spring, you know, and in the summer, bam, everybody's on one page.
Right.
It's like college football, pro football.
I was hired on a Monday, and we left that afternoon going to a fall camp. And
that's a lot of time.
It was well, we had about 3 hours. But you know, the staff there, you know, one of my best friends, Mark Mawile, was his assistant principal now. He was our offensive coordinator, and one of the really instrumental people wanted me to take the job. And so I took it, and just having the believe in by those guys in the community to get these kids just have a great work ethic, relentless competitors. You know, serve one another and trust the process, and just never quit. You know, and we had some struggles and stuff, but you know, the kids just believed in what we were teaching, and it just kind of took off from there. And you know, this year we had a great year, but this wasn't a year that just, we had a great year because of what happened this year. It was something that's been building, starting with this senior class when they were coming out of their freshman year. Was my first sophomore class, and so a lot of credit goes to them because of their belief in and buying into our program. You
had 3 senior big O-linemen, big guys.
Yeah.
Britt Pope, over 300 pounds, 6'3", 6'4". Matthew Anderson, who's going to be with us later, 6'6", 6'7", you know, 270, 265. And Monte Lynch, big guy, 6'6", 6'7", 280. I don't know what meal he ate, 300.
Right.
But and then you had some guys undersized that played hard on top of that. A good sized tight end, a young good quarterback that's coming back, and a great run game. And so we're going to talk more, Coach. We're going to take a break. Coach is a graduate of Winfield High School. At one time in the state, under some great coaches. We'll talk about that. They were one of the top programs.
That's right.
In Louisiana for like a decade. They had a run at one time with the late Tommy Campbell and Jeffrey Dale and Ricky Chapman. We can go on and on and on, the great players that played there. We'll be right back.
Finally got me, Ben.
What's that, Rick?
The Clark Street crater, the mother of all potholes. For decades, it's tormented the people of this town. They try to fill it, but it always returns. Got me good.
But you know State Farm's got you too.
You ain't nothing.
Are you trash talking a pothole?
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call or visit State Farm agent Bill Barkas in Baton Rouge today.
Delta World Tire is 100% committed to making every part of your experience with us hassle-free and pleasant. Whether it's tires, brakes, oil change, or scheduled maintenance, Delta World Tire's highest priority is serving you. If you're traveling this season, Delta World Tire is here to help you make sure your vehicle is road ready. If the tire needs replacing, the oil needs changing, or any other scheduled maintenance, Delta World Tire wants to make sure you get there.
We're Delta World Tire.
Well, it finally happened, Zachary. Somebody burned down my she shed.
Nobody burned down your she shed, Cheryl.
Well, my she shed's on fire.
Your she shed was struck by lightning.
Zachary, is my she shed covered by State Farm?
Your she shed's covered, Cheryl.
You hear that, Victor? I'm getting a new she shed.
She shed?
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful news.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call or visit State Farm agent David Bryan in Walker today.
When you come to Relief Windows, your experience starts here.
Or here.
Then we come to your home.
We measure twice.
And then we bring custom windows to your home.
We remove your old windows. Install your new windows.
Clean our mess.
And we make sure you're completely satisfied.
And all of this before you pay a dime. And at Relief Windows, our #1 product is customer satisfaction.
Relief Windows.
Welcome back, Lee Brecheen, Louisiana Football TV magazine. A former great from Parkview Baptist, Drew Dillio, one of the great all-time athletes that ran a 4.3, true 4.3 coach. Went to Michigan, had a great career, wasn't offered by LSU locally, was 5'9", 180, and was a great special teams guy at Michigan for the Wolverines before Jim Harbaugh. And did a great job. He's back in Baton Rouge. He's a State Farm agent. Support Drew Dillio. He's a community guy. He's a great kid. I say kid, he's a young adult now. I want to say that because I remember him playing high school football at Parkview Baptist for the retired Kenny Giat, another former Northwestern State graduate. But again, support Drew Dillio on O'Neill Lane, 3955 O'Neill Lane in Baton Rouge. I want to get back to Coach Robert Causey. I want to brag on Winfield. I mean, I know Don Jones, who's currently the head coach of Patterson, that you know him very well. The talent that came through Winfield from the late 60s to, like you said, 83 was phenomenal out of that program.
It was, as a young kid growing up in Winfield and seeing that, my mother taught there from, I think, 65 to 2014, and being a young boy growing up in Winfield and being in the school and seeing those guys are larger than life. Your idols, your role models, and what you would see. It's almost like the Joe Green Coca-Cola commercial as a little kid when you see those guys.
That was mine.
Lionel Johnson was first true linebacker, freshman, ever started at University of Texas, linebacker. Was the first name that I remembered. Garland Powell, Thomas King, Gary Irvin, Anthony Thomas. The list goes on and on. Kevin Paso, Terry Joe Ramsey that played there, Tommy Campbell,
Jeffrey Dale,
Ricky Chapman. It's just so many guys, that as a young kid, as you're growing up and watching, Winfield football and seeing those guys, it just left a lasting impression. And seeing the community buy in and just how they just love the Tiger football is something I wanted to bring and get back in Leesville. Because, when I got to Leesville, we always heard about what it was like in the great run in the 80s and the great run in the 90s. And I wanted to bring that back, and the community coming back and supporting these kids, was emotional at times this past year.
Yeah.
Just seeing the stands packed and the tunnels that they would form and the motorcycles coming in the end zone. And then, our last, at St. Martinville, we had almost 500 people sitting in the stands, there that night in our quarterfinal game. And then at Warren Easton, You know, it was every camo pattern that you could possibly imagine sitting in the stands that night. You knew Vernon Parish turned out to come support these kids, you know, and believing in our kids.
There's nothing
and
better
it didn't
than
matter
that.
that we, you know, winning or losing. You know, we wanted to build a program where they came and supported these kids because of how hard they play, represented the morals and the values of the Vernon Parish community.
And like you said, going back to the Mean Joe Green Coca-Cola commercial, that was one of my favorite teams, only because of two Louisiana players, Mel Blount, Southern University, and Terry Bradshaw, Louisiana Tech. When my dad said that where they went to school, I was a Steel Curtain fan.
Terry Bradshaw, Louisiana Tech, the reason I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan today.
That's the same with me, and I can name every starter on the team: Rocky Blauer, Franco Harris, L.C. Greenwood, Mean Joe Green, Donnie Schill, Mel Blount, all the the whole O-line, Mike Webster, the late Mike Webster, but just a great team. But like I said, when you're a kid, what you remember, people influence your life. Sports is a great hobby to build upon.
That's right.
Chemistry, team effort, hard work. But yeah, I take heat from the Saints fans. I grew up a Steelers fan, but I want the Saints to make the Super Bowl, Coach. And I was hoping that the Steelers wouldn't make it. That would be tough for me. So what do you change the subject a little bit? You went to Northwestern State, graduated in '93. Great place in Natchitoches, Louisiana.
That's right.
You worked a little bit at Haynesville, a great, talking about traditional program. And you worked at Eunice and Crowley. I mean, you had all these great communities, great schools.
Well, I was a young coach, and, you know, you was going from job to job.
Getting
and,
experience.
You know, and just I had a truck, a dog, and a trailer. Let's roll.
Let's go.
You know, not much responsibilities.
Right.
And, you know, just going from Winfield to Eunice to Crowley. I was at Delhi in 1996 to Gina, to Haynesville, and then moved to the Leesville community. And been there ever since, and it's like my hometown. I have been in Leesville longer than I've been in any other community, even growing up in Winfield. So I just feel like it's just my hometown.
Well, I have to ask this because half the people in North Louisiana like the Cowboys, and half like the Saints. South Louisiana, it's all Saints. There's no Cowboy fans hardly, unless you're from another city. What do you think of the Saints? What's their chances?
I think a real good shot. You know, the way their defense is played right now and the way they can run the football, you know, Drew Brees is going to get his yards and his points, but it's the other two facets of the game. You know, they got to be able to run the football to win. You still have to, and you got to play great defense. And I think their special teams are solid, so I really like their chances to get into the Super Bowl. And once you get there, then it just, you know, there's a lot of luck and things that happen to happen because that's the two best teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
But I like their chances at winning the Super Bowl. I hope they do.
If New England loses and they don't make the Super Bowl, the Saints wins the Super Bowl to me. I think they're going to beat the Rams at home. The only reason they were off, I thought, because they benched the starters. The timing was off.
Yeah.
You know, as a coach, you know that. Breeze didn't play a whole week, no reps. And it looked like he was struggling to get in his rhythm.
That's one of the decisions you make. You don't know if it's going to
hurt,
backfire.
hurt,
and so you kind of tossed up between which way do you go right there. But they won.
They won.
He's a genius.
So this game, they're going to be putting up records. Michael Thomas, what a receiver, huh, Coach?
Oh, man, he can catch a BB in the dark. I mean, that guy right there, he is phenomenal.
From California, went to Ohio State, and barring an injury, he's going to be a Hall of Famer, breaking a bunch of records. Coach, we've got about a minute left. Anything else you'd like to say? I mean, you're 30-8 at Leesville. Phenomenal accomplishment. You're not going to have a lot of depth next year. You're going to have to retrain, redevelop some young guys. Going to be another year where you're going to have to really go at it in off season. Defensively especially, you've lost a lot of players.
Well, it just goes back to the culture, the expectation. You go give your very best every day, let the chips fall where they may. You go to serve others, and our kids are working hard, got great assistant coaches that are in the weight room pushing those kids. And, you know, it's just about every year is different. Every year you have different strengths and weaknesses, and you just go and you're serving those kids and let the chips fall where they may. You just hope every Friday night your kids go and represent the community with their attitude and their effort.
Coach, we're going to bring you back with John Emery. John's going to come next. We're going to do musical chairs for one segment. Don't go anywhere. We're going to bring you back. When we come back, we've got John Emery Sr., father of John Emery, running back from Destrehan, and also John Emery Jr. will be calling in from Destrehan High School. We'll be back in just a moment.
Delta World Tire is 100% committed to making every part of your experience with us hassle-free and pleasant. Whether it's tires, brakes, oil change, or scheduled maintenance, Delta World Tire's highest priority is serving you. If you're traveling this season, Delta World Tire is here to help you make sure your vehicle is road ready. If the tire needs replacing, the oil needs changing, or any other scheduled maintenance, Delta World Tire wants to make sure you get there.
We're Delta World Tire.
Handling a gator like this can be scary, and this is pretty risky too. But do you know what's really dangerous? Dealing with the insurance company after your car wreck. If you've been injured, get a fighter. That's why you need to call me. I'm not afraid to handle them, and I'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve. So if you've been hurt, hire a professional. Just call me. Get it done.
Get Gordon. Get it done.
Call 888-8888 or go to getgordon.com.
Louisiana Office Solutions Company is the complete answer for all your office products and janitorial supply needs. From supplies for school or your home office, to styrofoam cups for your restaurant, to pallets of paper and cleaning supplies for your business. Choose from a large selection of furniture from chairs to desks for office or home, traditional and contemporary styles, or work with our design team to create a complete furniture layout for your building. So call or come by Louisiana Office Solutions Company on Florida at Lobdell, where everyone is welcome.
Finally got me, Ben.
What's that, Rick?
The Clark Street crater, the mother of all potholes. For decades, it's tormented the people of this town. They try to fill it, but it always returns. Got me good.
But you know State Farm's got you, too.
You ain't nothing.
Are you trash talking a pothole?
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call or visit State Farm agent Jim Crane in Baton Rouge today.
Welcome back, Lee Brecheen, Louisiana Football TV magazine. We want to thank Superior Grill, a phenomenal place to eat. It's on Highland. They have a Highland Road location now, and they're also on Government Street in New Orleans. They're on St. Charles Avenue, and just a great place to go. Big supporter of our show and high school, college athletics. Bob Kershoff and his family, thank you. Support them and check them out. I want to go ahead and introduce a phenomenal player in his own right. Everybody knows about his son, John Emery Jr., who signed with LSU in early signing period from Destrehan High School. But his dad, John Emery Sr., once upon a time was one of the best prospects in the state of Louisiana and signed with Tennessee. And I remember as a teenager back then, I said, you know, man, LSU lost another one. But now this time around, your son's being recruited. Right. What was that like? Because you were being recruited by LSU. You go to Tennessee to play for Johnny Majors,
yeah,
a famous Hall of Fame coach.
Mm-hmm. I put what I went through out, what I went through. I just kept that in the back of my mind. I didn't want to coerce him into what I did or how I did it. Just wanted to show him what I learned and this and that. So we just kept it open. I didn't look at Tennessee, look at Alabama, look at this school. I didn't do that. Whatever he wanted to see, let's go see it. He wanted to see Auburn, let's go see Auburn. He wanted to see LA. He called all the shots. I just pointed out the obvious. So it was fun. It brought me back. It brought back a lot of memories because I met up with a lot of guys from the past that I hadn't seen in 20 plus years.
And you left Tennessee, finished at Nicholls State in Thibodeau. Great place to live and eat.
Oh, great.
Thibodeau, man.
Oh man, I love Thibodeau. Thibodeau was great. That staff, Barbier, Rebo, Manny, Manny Michel, them guys there, man, they took me in, and just was the home. I was back home, and they brought the love of football back into me, So it just took Nicholls State. Hats off to Tim Rebo.
What a great job, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to ask you, John, just a couple of Destrehan questions. Your opinion. Who do you think was the greatest football player ever at Destrehan?
Me, man. That's a hard one, man. They had some great guys came through there. Ed Reed, Fred Smith, the list goes on, man. Rondell Mealy, we had some great guys come through there.
The Jefferson family,
the whole Jefferson family. Then you had guys before that. You had the Derwin Diggs. You had the Brian Shoemakers. You had the Jason Smothers.
Smothers was a great line.
Right. That's my cousin.
Come
so
on.
yeah, it's in the blood.
Then you had Johnson, who went to the Eagles, went to Tulsa.
Right.
Phenomenal
right.
receiver.
Who came back and coached the wide receivers at Destrehan
Come
this
on.
past year.
What a staff.
Yeah. So then you have the Jai Eugenes.
Go on and on.
Hats off to his son who's coming up. He's 8th grade, gonna be a phenomenal.
Come on,
football
already?
player. Already, man.
See, Jai came on the show when he was in high school.
Okay.
It's incredible that he's got a kid. He almost went to Michigan.
Yeah, I heard that. Flipped at the last minute.
Now you were a linebacker, and then linebacker, running backs, different side of the ball.
Correct.
What's it like knowing that your son was running the ball, and that you were a defensive guy? When did you know he would be a running back growing up? Was there a time you go, hey, my son's going to be a running back?
Yeah, he was 7.
7 years old.
7 years old. Matter of fact, I got into an argument with his track coach. Because John was phenomenal in track. Hats off to Nicholson Playground in Marrero. He never lost a race in recreation.
Man.
From the age of 8 all the way to like 12, 13 years old. So his track coach was like, your son is going to be a track star. I said, no, he's going to be a running back. So this is at the age of 7, So I seen him cut that. He didn't know how to cut the corner at 7. So the next year we worked on it, and he finally cut the corner. And once he cut that corner, that was it.
Well, I wanted to tell you, I went to one of his first games when y'all played Woodlawn at Woodlawn. And he was a freshman.
I wasn't there that day.
I went to one of his first games, and I said, okay, as you know, being a Destrehan graduate, they don't play a lot of freshmen.
No.
And 5A too. And I said, Coach Robichaud, I said, you got a freshman back warming up with the first team and team. He said, yeah, I don't want to brag on him yet. He's young. I said, I know, I got you. I know what you're talking about. I got you. And he took a run to where it was a vision run. It was a senior run. It was a vision cut left, see the hole, go outside, and had a burst of a senior. And I had to relook at my roster on the sideline. I said, freshman.
Yeah, he called me that night. I was out camping. I was working with my kids that I work with, and I was out camping, and that was the first game that I missed since he started playing football. And he called me. He said, Daddy, I scored. And I said, man, the one game I missed, you finally scored in high school. So I made a vow to never miss again. So I haven't missed a game since that.
But currently, you work with the youth program with Project Student Advocate for St. Charles Parish.
Yes, sir.
Great
Youth Empowerment Project, nonprofit organization, started in New Orleans.
Okay.
And then also I work part-time for the school board as a mentor for the kids in the parish.
That same game, and John, true story, I'm in Shreveport, so I'm in Shreveport watching football. And I went to lunch with a couple of LSU guys, big guys there that want to talk football. And they would talk recruiting. There's recruit guys. And the recruiting was about to be over. And Justin Jefferson in that game returned a punt that reminded me of some Ed Reed stuff.
Okay.
And people said, well, man, he's a late signee. I said, no. That kid's a big-time player.
Right.
He might be the last signee for LSU.
Hey, I watched Justin grow up as well. He and John played recreation
Phenomenal.
against each other since 9, 10 years old. And I watched him play basketball, play football, and he always had it in him. He always had that it factor. And then when he got to Destrehan, he made a conscious decision. He could have battled at quarterback, but he said, no, I need to contribute to this team. And that kid made a decision to go from quarterback to wide receiver, and that probably was the best thing that could have happened for him.
It's going to be LSU's about to turn into Destrehan High School.
It is, man.
Glenn Logan?
Yeah, I coached Glenn.
You know all these guys.
I coached Glenn at Destrehan. I coached at Destrehan for about 2-3 years.
Gerald Wilbon's doing good at Texas.
Another one I coached at Destrehan.
Come
as well.
on, these guys.
Yeah, so me and Coach Stafford and myself. But Glenn, I called Glenn. Tell Glenn to get off the ball.
Still giving him pointers?
Yeah, I still do that. So
it's a defense in you.
Yes, it is. Matter of fact, I tell a lot of people when I came to the Georgia LSU game, Coach Ogeron had me in a defensive meeting, and by the time I left out of there, I was ready to play.
You ready to be on the staff, huh?
Yeah, so it was phenomenal.
What is it like for you to see a Kevin Falk at LSU, one of the all-time great running backs, to be out there as guidance for these kids on the staff, player personnel? I know he's not a running back coach yet. I know he will be.
Okay.
But what do you think of seeing him out there? I mean, that's a heck of an addition for LSU.
That's That's a great addition. And for Kevin to come in and do that, matter of fact, I was just talking to the young man out there, and he's going to Nebraska, correct?
Yeah.
So he was telling me about how Coach Frost is bringing in his staff that attended the university, and to see Kevin Falk come back and to give back his years of knowledge and experience, you know, so I'm excited about that myself, you know, and then to know my son is going to be, you know, is going to be coached or at least touched by Kevin Falk and leave with a little more than what he had.
The only guy that Belichick didn't cut in a 10-year span.
Yeah,
Meaning that's a guy that he could have went to New England and had a job right away.
That speaks volumes.
Big time.
Yes, that
John,
speaks volumes.
we're going to bring you back, and we got more with John, and John Emery Jr. is going to be calling in. We're ready for that, too.
All right.
We'll be right back.
Louisiana Office Solutions Company is the complete answer for all your office products and janitorial supply needs. From supplies for school or your home office, to styrofoam cups for your restaurant, to pallets of paper and cleaning supplies for your business. Choose from a large selection of furniture from chairs to desks for office or home, traditional and contemporary styles, or work with our design team to create a complete furniture layout for your building. So call or come by Louisiana Office Solutions Company on Florida at Lobdell, where everyone is welcome.
Delta World Tire is 100% committed to making every part of your experience with us hassle-free and pleasant. Whether it's tires, brakes, oil change, or scheduled maintenance, Delta World Tire's highest priority is serving you. If you're traveling this season, Delta World Tire is here to help you make sure your vehicle is road ready. If the tire needs replacing, the oil needs changing, or any other scheduled maintenance, Delta World Tire wants to make sure you get there.
We're Delta World Tire.
Handling a gator like this can be scary, and this is pretty risky too. But do you know what's really dangerous? Dealing with the insurance company after your car wreck. If you've been injured, get a fighter. That's why you need to call me. I'm not afraid to handle them, and I'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve. So if you've been hurt, hire a professional. Just call me. Get it done.
Get Gordon. Get it done.
Call 888-8888 or go to getgordon.com.
When you come to Relief Windows, your experience starts here.
Or here.
Then we come to your home.
We measure twice.
And then we bring custom windows to your home.
We remove your old windows. Install your new windows.
Clean our mess.
And we make sure you're completely satisfied.
And all of this before you pay a dime. And at Relief Windows, our #1 product is customer satisfaction.
Relief Windows.
Welcome back, Lee Brecheen, Louisiana Football TV magazine. John, it's real good. I know it never gets old for you watching your son run the ball.
Oh, no.
But we've got some film on him, and we're going to go through the film together, and I know I'll give you a chance to brag on him a little more, because this recruiting's almost over with. Now
Hey,
it's about
I'll
to
be glad.
But here we go, man. This is your son right here catching a pass. Got good hands.
Oh, yeah, great hands.
And his balance, vision,
Yeah,
the
that was-
burst.
He was that game there, Terrebonne. He felt a certain way about that game, so he came out on a whole.
Look at that jump.
Yeah,
That was everybody does that.
he's a great basketball player too now.
Come on.
Yes, he can play a little basketball too.
Showing those basketball feet.
Yes.
This is against Jesuit, not a bad opponent here.
Yeah, Jesuit was
good defense.
Jesuit had him boxed in alone, for a long. Then he
Broke
was
the slow
patient
run.
and just came out,
This is, I think, John
Yeah,
Emery.
that block. Yeah.
Every team here is a great defense. I want to point that out to the people watching.
Yeah, it was tough. Yeah, we had it took some games took a while for them to get started, but like I said, their patience, hats off to the coaching staff at Destrehan.
Who's faster, dad or son?
He is now.
He's got you now?
Yeah, he is now. I had him when he was about 7th grade. And then after that,
After that, it's over.
And then after that was it.
A couple more plays, and we'll go to John. Will be calling in here. But this is another really good defense. So what's impressive between the tackles, John, the way he breaks free.
His shiftiness and the way he turned his shoulders so quick. He works on all that stuff.
Reminds me a lot of Joseph Adai.
Oh, that's a big name.
Joseph Adai was smooth.
Yeah.
Hit the hole.
That's a big name.
Didn't look like it was effortless because he was always moving those feet.
Mm-hmm.
But we've got your son on the line, and John Emery, thanks for calling in. Your dad's in studio.
How y'all doing?
Hey man, are you glad recruiting is over and you can just get ready to be a contributor to LSU pretty soon? Are you glad all that stuff's over?
Yeah, I had a good time with it though. It was a good process, a good experience. But yeah, I am glad.
John, and I'll ask you, Dad, where was the best food on your visits?
The best food?
Best food? Would it be Baton Rouge?
Oh, of course, hands down.
yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, that seafood buffet they had up in that stadium that
Unbelievable,
night. Oh,
huh?
my word, yeah.
Yeah, it was out the chains.
John, are you pumped up to team and become real good friends with Ty, and you and Ty make this a special backfield for the next 3 years at least?
Oh yes, absolutely. We communicate like once a week. I actually talked to Cardell the most though. So,
have you ever met someone like Cardell before? That big, that young, that mature?
Nah.
Cardell's like he's got vision on him. He's
and great work ethic, man. I watched one of his YouTube videos that he worked out with his dad, and it's just it's miraculous what this kid's capable of doing.
John, your dad said you can finally now beat him in the 40. Is that true?
Yeah, that's since then. It's been like that. I've been competing.
Is it close, or you got him? You got him
no,
pretty
it's
good?
not even close. I'm not even gonna try. His numbers outweigh me.
John, anything you want to work on in the summer just to get ready? Maybe any weight gain and speed? Anything you think you want to work on more?
My speed. I feel like during my high school years, I kind of lost it a little bit. I'm not slow or nothing, but that's my main focus. My speed. So.
The other thing is your dad said you're a great basketball player. Is that true?
Yes, I'm pretty nice. I actually just played this weekend. I didn't play in months, but I still have it though.
Can you dunk? Can you dunk?
Yeah, I got a little vertical.
Not bad for a guy under 6'1" can dunk.
Well, he get it from his dad, man.
Get it from his dad.
I used to dunk in high school.
Yeah, I know a lot of LSU fans will see the show tonight, and all over Louisiana it's going to show statewide. But we wanted you to. I'm glad you can call in. I know with school you couldn't come down and miss class to come down. But look, good luck to you, and all these Tiger fans are ready for you to put their purple and gold on.
Hey, man, I'm ready myself, man. I'm glad to be even talking on this show. Sorry I couldn't make it. I wish I would have made it, but
no, you got to graduate.
Yeah.
That's most important, and
yeah.
not miss class. But John, good luck to you. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. I'll tell you what. You ready? So you counting those days down on the college season already?
The funny thing is, after I watched the Alabama-Clemson game, I sat back and said, well.
You thinking?
No, I said college football over. Well, I guess got to wait till next year. And then it hit me. I'm like, wait, I'll be watching my son next year. So that kind of, I'm impatient now. I can't wait. I can't wait to see it.
So as a former linebacker, and a current football guy,
okay,
you look at Alabama and Clemson, all the pressure's on them.
Mm-hmm.
They each lost a combined 13 juniors to the NFL draft.
Mm.
They also lost 20 other seniors each.
That's phenomenal.
There's an opening there, don't you think?
As far as what?
Some teams that come in there and take it.
Oh yes, most definitely.
I know they're good offensively, both of them.
But then you also have to look at it. These two teams been doing great recruiting for the last 2 years. So it's never, it's just like that movie. Any given Sunday, any given Saturday, any given day. That it's all who puts in the work. Looking at these programs in this past year, nobody expected LSU to be that great, be this good this year. No one did. Let's be honest. And then they went in, they put that work in, and they killed all the doubters. So you can't go off. Alabama and Clemson are always going to be good, irregardless, because of the way they run their program.
And what's amazing, which you always got to point to coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Brossette got the most out of his talent.
Right.
He ran for 1,000 yards.
That's amazing.
And he's a great guy,
mm-hmm.
but didn't have the stature, the Jeremy Hills,
mm-hmm.
and all those guys, the guys that came through there.
And look, that kid there, if he get a shot, he probably make it a long time.
Make a team, yeah.
Because he's that program guy.
Hard worker.
Yeah, exactly.
Committed.
Yeah, he's that
And then
program.
Clyde Edwards, not the biggest guy, but got the most out of his ability.
Right, exactly.
And now you got your son come in and Ty to combine with Clyde.
Hey, look.
And then Curry. I mean,
I see great things in LSU future. You know, with everything that's, you know, what they have was coming back with the kids they're bringing in. And I was just going over their roster the other day, and I'm like, LSU's going to be pretty good.
Burrow.
Yeah, with their staff and everything, you know. Then I'm looking at the future after Burrow leave, what they have coming in.
The defensive stack coming up.
So it's going to be
Especially your side of the ball, linebacker, D-lines are getting deep.
I love it, man. I love it. I'm ready to get, you know, put some LSU gear on. I know my Tennessee boys they don't like it, but 'cause I remember I coached that.
Rocky Top.
Yeah, I coached at the clinic, a football clinic when high school coach was able.
We're going to take a break, John. We're going to bring you back. We got Coach Causey joining us, and then we'll be right back. We're going to talk about Rocky Top. I'll spend a little time over there, too. We'll be right back.
Honey, what's wrong with the disposer?
What disposer?
Clogged drain? Call Roto-Rooter, America's neighborhood drain expert.
When you come to Relief Windows, your experience starts here.
Or here.
Then we come to your home.
We measure twice.
And then we bring custom windows to your home.
We remove your old windows. Install your new windows.
Clean our mess.
And we make sure you're completely satisfied.
And all of this before you pay a dime. And at Relief Windows, our #1 product is customer satisfaction.
Well, it finally happened, Zachary. Somebody burned down my she shed.
Nobody burned down your she shed, Cheryl.
Well, my she shed's on fire.
Your she shed was struck by lightning.
Zachary, is my she shed covered by State Farm?
Your she shed's covered, Cheryl.
You hear that, Victor? I'm getting a new she shed.
She shear?
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful news.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call or visit State Farm agent David Wilcox in Gonzales today.
Handling a gator like this can be scary, and this is pretty risky too. But do you know what's really dangerous? Dealing with the insurance company after your car wreck. If you've been injured, get a fighter. That's why you need to call me. I'm not afraid to handle them, and I'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve. So if you've been hurt, hire a professional. Just call me. Get it done.
Get Gordon. Get it done.
Call 888-8888 or go to getgordon.com.
Welcome back. The recruiting segment, the Recruits of the Week, sponsored by the Ryder Clinic. Dr. Kelly Ryder, a great guy from the Lafayette area, great guy. Go see him. Sports injuries, anything, he can help you with that. He works on a lot of athletes all over the country, several from the Dallas Cowboys and Cincinnati Bengals team in the NFL. But I want to go ahead and go to our Recruit of the Week. Our first recruit from Northeast in Baton Rouge, 6'3", 190, Jason Scott. This guy can fly. He looks the part here in blue. 4-year starter, actually a 5-year starter, John. The other one we're going to talk about, this teammate who's 6'3", also 190. But we're going to go ahead and this is him going right here. The quarterback, we're going to talk about him when it's over. This guy's a track guy too. But he's a football guy that runs track.
Wow.
But both of these kids were 6'3", 190, both 5-year starters since grade 8. They only had 20 guys that played,
Louisiana puts them out, man.
This is him as a DB. Coming up as a free safety right here.
Cover the field.
Not scared to make tackles.
Covers the field.
Not all wideouts like to tackle. And this is a 2A school. Plays a lot of the guys, set both sides of the ball. Good hands, big guy. Big track guy. And his teammate, Johnny Selders, another one. Boy, coach is going to miss these two guys. They both seniors. But Johnny Selders, 6'2", 190, also All-State in track. Both of these kids.
So he's getting recruited as a wide receiver?
No D1 offers. Wow. None. They can play safety. They can play wideout. This is Johnny Selders, who has got a lot of ability as well. This is as a gunner. I love guys on special teams making tackles. I love that.
I just love it. Headhunter, man.
Headhunter. Not scared to take people.
Just to bust the wedge down.
You know.
They don't have wedges no more. Huh?
In a 2A level, everybody plays special teams.
Yeah. Play both ways pretty much, right?
Both ways, offense, defense. This is him as a corner. Look, he's 6'2", 190, jamming this guy, making the hit.
Can't coach size or speed, and both of them are physical kids.
Big time. And so a lot of your 1AA schools that have the extra scholarships, they're going to get D1 guys.
Yeah.
These guys can play. And they wonder why guys end up in the NFL that don't go D1. This is a great example. You know, Louisiana will have, I counted, over 160 D1s this year when it's all said and done. So that means there's another 100 1AAs. That means 50, 60 kids won't sign.
Big fish in a little pond.
Like Destrehan's got some other players.
Oh, yeah, Destrehan stay loaded, man. Them kids work, man. That coaching staff, they put them through some stuff, man. And, you know, and coaches from D1 schools always.
Watching a lot of your son's film, that they've got a young receiver that's a junior. That's 6'3", 6'4". That Quincy has a chance to be special.
Yes, Quincy is special. Quincy been playing football as long as I can remember, man. I grew up with his stepdad, and just been watching Quincy grow up playing flag football, and then he came to Destrehan and contributed immediately.
John, what I like is when he goes up, it's his. You know,
Confidence.
Most tall guys don't use the height. He uses his height.
Height didn't have hands, like spider webs or something.
Doesn't drop anything.
Nothing.
And coach, your team, you got your young quarterback back, and you got 3 running backs back that could all be all district running backs. That's a good problem to have, 3 running backs.
Well, we do, and the young man that was hurt week 4 against Pineville, he's going to be back. So we actually have about 4 kids that can run the ball. They can play anywhere, really, in any offensive positions other than tight end. They can play inside slot, the outside receiver, fullback, tailback. So we have different combinations. Coach Scoggins, our offensive coordinator, has done a fabulous job of spreading the ball around. It's hard to key on any one person within our scheme and the things we do with our multiple sets. So, you know, it's a good problem to have. You can't have too many.
And then you might put them at DV, too. You might have to.
We may. You know, that's one of the things that we always try to load up one side of the ball. And historically at Leesville, it's going to be the offense. Defense, we just try to find, 11 kids that like to hit. You know, you just kind of scour the hallway and say, you know what, if you like to hit people and not get suspended, come play defense. And we just try to load up on an offensive side and let them get after it.
And John Destrehan, who's going to take over for Harold at quarterback, who signed with Southern? Who's going to keep this thing going?
That's the thing, man. They have a great kid behind them. I think Destrehan might have to change up the way they do, but I don't know. I'm not a coach. But they always have an answer. They always find a way, always. But they have some great kids.
Maybe one of them young DBs want to play some quarterback.
Hey,
6-footish, right? One of them young guys coming up.
Yeah, like I said, they had, their backup quarterback was a tight end. I think he has a scholarship somewhere, going somewhere. But
Carson Ryder.
Carson Ryder, right? He was the back quarterback. Now, like I said, they had a little young guy on the JV team, and he's coming up. And he's very versatile, but like I said, anything can happen between now and the fall.
John, don't go anywhere, Coach Causey. We're giving you these Louisiana fish fry before you leave. We got one more segment. We got Matthew Anderson coming on, a big-time offensive lineman going to Nebraska from Leesville. We'll be right back.
Delta World Tire is 100% committed to making every part of your experience with us hassle-free and pleasant. Whether it's tires, brakes, oil change, or scheduled maintenance, Delta World Tire's highest priority is serving you. If you're traveling this season, Delta World Tire is here to help you make sure your vehicle is road ready. If the tire needs replacing, the oil needs changing, or any other scheduled maintenance, Delta World Tire wants to make sure you get there.
We're Delta World Tire.
When you come to Relief Windows, your experience starts here.
Or here.
Then we come to your home.
We measure twice.
And then we bring custom windows to your home.
We remove your old windows. Install your new windows.
Clean our mess.
And we make sure you're completely satisfied.
And all of this before you pay a dime. And at Relief Windows, our #1 product is customer satisfaction.
Relief Windows.
Honey, what's wrong with the disposer?
What disposer?
Clogged drain? Call Roto-Rooter, America's neighborhood drain expert.
Finally got me, Ben.
What's that, Rick?
The Clark Street crater, the mother of all potholes. For decades, it's tormented the people of this town. They try to fill it, but it always returns. Got me good.
But you know State Farm's got you, too.
You ain't nothing.
Are you trash talking a pothole?
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call or visit State Farm agent Bill Barkus in Baton Rouge today.
Handling a gator like this can be scary, and this is pretty risky too. But do you know what's really dangerous? Dealing with the insurance company after your car wreck. If you've been injured, get a fighter. That's why you need to call me. I'm not afraid to handle them, and I'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve. So if you've been hurt, hire a professional. Just call me. Get it done.
Get Gordon. Get it done.
Call 888-8888 or go to getgordon.com.
Welcome to Louisiana Football TV magazine. Lee Brecheen, your host. Before I introduce this young gentleman who's going to be a star football player for Nebraska before the next 3-4 years are over, what a great kid. 2 years ago, I'm watching film. Coach Causey allows me to go in and watch full game film, and I'm looking, and I see this 6'6", 6'7" kid, about 220, blocking and getting after people. I mean, doesn't have the weight yet, but getting after everybody. Now, while I was making notes, this kid's tough, high effort, good feet, driving people back. Doesn't have the weight yet. And I'm like, once he puts that weight on, I wrote a little note. Sure enough, this year's a senior, 260, 6'6", 6'7". Matthew Anderson, Leesville. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's an honor. It's great to be here to represent Leesville High School. I mean, we had a great season. It's just a huge blessing to represent Leesville in this kind of way.
Now, your O-line was anything but tiny, right? I mean, the big guys. We got a little film here for you. It's hard to tell who's who because everybody's big. Everybody's over 260, 6'4", 6'5", 6'6". Monte Lynch, you, one of other, Britt Pope. This is you getting out. I mean, look at this. Man, you just dropped this guy with one arm, right?
Yes, sir.
And you're not even 300 yet like you're going to be at Nebraska. But I love your hands. You get after guys, you put your hands on them, you move them. You're engaging. You're not just standing up watching like some of these guys, but you're pushing people back. And as the weights come on, I've noticed you're starting to dominate these guys your size.
Yes, sir. Yeah, the best part, our offensive line coach, Coach Cryer, he just tells us to get after it. It's not necessarily
DeRitter.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't like that school too much.
Yeah, that's the rival, right?
Yes, sir.
And this is St. Louis. I think St. Louis and Lake Charles. This is you at right tackle. I mean, hey, it's a great block. You're finishing blocks too. I like that. You go after, you're moving these guys.
Yes, sir.
You got the young back. This is getting out, pulling, man. Hey, that's a good play.
Sir.
For someone 260, 6'6". Here's another play against your favorite team, DeRitter, at right tackle. You took this guy in and just moved him 20 feet on his back. I've got to say, we had you, I told my staff back in May, I said, we're going to get this kid on the cover. And they said, he's not ranked. I said, I don't care if he's ranked or not. The kid can play. He's big time.
Yes, sir.
And back in May, you come out, we get you on the cover.
That was awesome. It was really awesome.
And then back in, what was it, maybe June, Nebraska comes calling. And now you're a Cornhusker for Scott Frost. What's that? How do you feel? I mean, you know, Lincoln's coming.
I mean, I'm so excited to just get bigger, to get stronger. I mean, with Nebraska, they have that tradition, And I mean, it's really exciting to be part of that revival that they're bringing back. And I think that's what really kind of made me want to go there, is that it's not like I'm going to a program that's already like on the move. Like, I'm going to be able to be one of those cogs in the mechanism that's going to bring back it to the greatness that it was. So.
And what do you like most about Scott Frost? He played there. I mean, he's a guy that played there.
His competitiveness. I mean, everything he does, it's a competition. And I mean, he wants to win every time. And by golly, I think he probably could most times. So.
And I want people to know about you too. You're an Eagle Scout.
Yes, sir.
And you also volunteer every summer for disabled children for 1 week.
Yes, sir.
Tell everybody about that in the Lake Charles area there, Leesville.
Well, so my parents, my mom and my dad, they're a big part of my my recruitment and everything I do. And luckily, they let me go into Boy Scouts. I was able to get my Eagle Scout at like a record time. I was 13 years old, and I was able to get my Eagle Scout, but my dad wanted me to wait until I was 16. So then I did my Eagle Project, the Louisiana Lions Camp. It's a camp for disabled children, mental disabilities, physical disabilities, type 1 diabetes. And I mean, we just help them learn how to kind of cope with what they have. And it's awesome. Amazing kids, just the best.
It's good that you do that as such a young kid, you know, yourself getting out and doing that. And you're a chess player too.
Yes, sir.
I mean, offensive lineman, you don't hear that very often. Chess, you pretty good at it?
I like to believe I'm pretty cool. I mean, I don't know like all the European openings and all the different type of moves, but I mean, I kind of have a signature little move that I do.
Can you be in a tournament? Could you actually be in a tournament and win some?
Yes, sir. I haven't been beaten so far.
What?
There's a teacher that kind of teaches chess in Leesville. I beat him in like 4 moves. So I mean.
So if you don't play pro ball or something, you actually might need to.
I could be a grand wizard in chess. So.
Hey, man. I'm on a pool team. I don't know a lot about chess, but I mean, you got to think on that one. I see it in movies. You don't see a lot of it on TV.
Yeah, it's not really represented in the media because it's not really one of those. It's not like football. You don't get to knock people down or anything. But I mean, there's also I don't want to say it's similar to football because there's not that rush of adrenaline. But I mean, there's still a little bit of adrenaline when you knock over somebody's queen.
Now, Matthew, we have a minute left. What do you think the future of the Wampus Cats, man? A lot of talent coming back.
I mean, we lost the offensive line, but I mean, to say that we have exceptional backs is an understatement. Jacob Mount, Noah Lane, Darius Allen, he's a defensive back. We have so many, the Galashaw brothers, young, strong, not afraid to hit, run up field. I mean, they made me look good in a lot of scenarios. Like,
hey, look, in a year or two, I'm going to be watching Big 12 football. I'm going to check you out. I'm going to keep up with you, man.
Yes, sir.
The Big Red, huh?
Yes, sir.
Good luck to you, Matthew.
Thank you. Appreciate
Matthew
it.
Anderson. You're watching Louisiana Football TV magazine. Thanks to the Emerys, Coach Causey, Matthew Anderson, our recruits of the week from Northeast High School. We'll see you all week long, statewide in Louisiana. Great show. We'll see you next week.